Hello and welcome for a webinar on exhumation. Today we will deal with the medical legal aspect of exhumation. So I welcome you all for this seminar. Quite a fancy welcome board you can see here. See the spelling of exhumation. The opposite of exhumation is inhumation. Inhumation means to bury and exhumation means to dig out the buried body. So it's very simple word. I'll go to the definition and try to explain you through the definition and a picture. This is a fancy exhumation here for you. The word exhumation comes from Latin words ex, which means out of, and humus, Humus, meaning ground. So the exhumation word literally means out of ground. So exhumation does not have anything to do with human. So exhumation is out of ground for any buried body, whether it is human or whether it is any other lower animal. So please clarify the meaning, exact meaning of exhumation. So that means exhumation is a lawful disinterment or digging out of a body from a grave which has already been buried. So disinterment means digging out of the body, and interment means burying the body. Interment, you remember this word. So burying body or burial, or what you call burial through a funeral after the death, which happens usually in those people and those communities which carry out the burial procedure. For them only you can apply this word exhumation, inhumation, interment, disinterment. Okay. So in India, as per the criminal procedure code, what we call it as CRPs, you can see there, section 176 allows for exhumation. So once the body is buried, usually it is not digged out again, because the social status of the funeral and the burial, it is quite religious, and quite sentimental, and that is why it can be only done by application of law. And this CRPC section 176(2), actually the full section I am giving you, the section 176(2) of what you call Code of Criminal Procedure 1973, deals with exhumation and empowers the magistrate. Magistrate means Nyaya Dandadhikari. I told you in the legal procedures. Empowers the magistrate to order for disinterment of the dead body for the purpose of examination in order to discover his cause of death. Cause of death plus personal identity also. Okay. This is the power of magistrate. That means magistrate is the lower court. Okay. Under section 174 CRPC, the CRPC has a provision for police also. It empowers the police to retrieve the body illegally buried. If the body is illegally buried, in that case, police can apply this section and dig out that body for further, investigations, or what we have studied so far in one word, and that is called as inquest. Okay. So exhumation by magistrate and exhumation by police, there are different sections. You try to understand this. I'll explain you the minute details in the follow three programs. By looking at this image, you can clearly make out that there is a scene showing you a coffin has been dug out of the burial place in a graveyard, or what we call cemetery. Okay. And this coffin, but naturally it contains the remains of the dead person. I don't know what time has been taken to bury for the burial and for again for disinterment, what we call. This coffin may be made up of metal, or it may be made up of some hard wood, and it contains a dead body which is to be examined by forensic experts. Here you can see one expert, trying to collect all the mutilated parts of a dead body from a coffin. Coffin म्हणजे शवपेटी. Okay. Here, in India, the majority of people do not, bury the body. They cremate or they burn the body ceremoniously, and this is what the difference in India and rest of the world, where exhumation is rarely done in India. Rarely means one thing is that the majority of the population is not buried. So the people who are buried, in that case, exhumation has to be applied, whether it is required or not. So that means the cases of exhumation in India are very rare, because in our country, most of the bodies are disposed of by cremation. That means burning. You can see one scene here showing the cremation near the ghat, what they call, okay? And Smashan Bhumi, where the bodies are taken for cremation after the death. And here, cremation, exhumation is not possible. And even if there is any, the evidence which is going to be made available later on, is going to get burned with the body. As far as the different religions are concerned, as far as different communities are concerned, different, customary practices are concerned, this burial cremation that happens from community to community. Even mostly Christians and Muslims and Jews, they bury the body because they believe in a judgment day where the body will again arise. This is what they believe. The science has got nothing to do with this. And whereas some communities in Hindu religion also, they bury, like I have seen them Lingayat people, they do bury the dead body. Parsis neither bury nor they burn. They put their bodies in a their what you call funeral place. There is a well where they keep the body for the birds to eat. Vultures come and eat the bodies. This is the practice what different religions do. There are many other religions, they preserve the bodies for for a longer time. They mummify and preserve the body. This is also practice in some religion. So let us now discuss more about what you call funeral rites of different communities and religion. Only I just wanted to make it clear that in India exhumation is rare, because most of the people, highly populated Indian people, are believing in one religion which we call as Hindu religion, and they prefer to burn. There are some reasons for that, which are better known to be understand with the people who do this later on. But see, if the person is killed by some criminal people, the dead body is not buried by either by relatives or by the state. It is buried by criminal people after murdering. In that case, if you want to recover that body, that is not called as exhumation. Retrieval of such body is not exhumation. Exhumation means which is ceremoniously buried, like by Muslims, Christians, and Jews, and I told you about Lingayat also. And if the government or the state wants to know the more details of that body as far as identification and some evidence is concerned, for the purpose of DNA or all that, under section 176 CRPC, it is done. Exhumation must be differentiated clearly from the retrieval of a body, clandestinely buried by the criminals. Okay, because the body was never legally buried by these criminals. They just wanted to get rid of the body, and that is why they buried it. They buried it means they inhumed it. Inhumation means burying in that place. That police will go and recover under section, I told you 173 in the beginning. Okay, and that is different. That is not called as exhumation. So why exhumation is required, that we'll try to understand one by one. What are the indications or what you call objectives of exhumation? For the purposes of identification of the body, personal identity, what we learned for last 3 days, to determine the cause of the death when foul play is suspected. Many of the times the body is murdered and it is buried, people are not made aware of why the person has died. For example, homicide, that means murder, disputed case of death, or rather disputed case of death. Now Sushant Singh's death is in the same what you call debate, or poisoning cases, or exhumation post-mortem is done to know the cause, manner or nature of death, why this, how the person died, how this person died. It may also be required to recover some paper or documents or other evidential material buried along with the dead body by mistake. Or so by mistake means many of the people, they bury the belongings of the person along with the dead body. Okay, his medicines and his what you call very fondly material, they just bury with the dead body, and those are required as an evidence sometime. And second autopsy required. The first post-mortem, if it is done, and then there is a what you call lots of suspicion about exact cause of the second autopsy can be ordered when the first autopsy report is being challenged or it is not clear, if it is ambiguous. So in that case, second autopsy is done under this process of exhumation. Okay. Here you can see an image where the body is, so they're trying to dig out the body. Who can order exhumation? So district magistrate, that means what we call DM or collector. Sub-divisional magistrate, SDM, that means Prantadhikari. So Jilladhikari, Prantadhikari. Executive magistrate means Tahsildar, are empowered to order for exhumation. They are all executive magistrate actually. They are also called as Karyakari Dandadhikari in Marathi. So body is exhumed under the supervision of a magistrate in the presence of a doctor. So you have to go to the site. The magistrate will come there. A doctor is also called there as a medical expert. The presence of police officer is required for providing witness to the identity of the grave, the coffin and the dead body, as well as maintaining law and order has to be maintained. People will come there, police has to be there. The relatives also take objection. For that also, the police has to take care of. Everything is under the cover of law. Carried out during early morning hours. So there is a specification. If somebody has to be, hanged in a jail, that is also carried early in the morning. Similarly, this is also done early in the morning. And in India, for exhumation, the time limit is not so fixed, but usually it is practiced early in the morning. Here you can see a scene where police officer and the people are trying to dig out a body. And after taking out this body, autopsy may have to be done at the spot, because most of the times these bodies get mutilated. Highly decomposed bodies, it's very difficult to handle such dead bodies. And that is why they have to carry out autopsy. Autopsy means post-mortem. At the spot, so they have to raise what you call tarpaulin screen may be erected around the grave, okay? Or the body skeleton may be shifted to a close-by mortuary, if there is a close-by mortuary, Shavagraha. It is advisable to be conversant with the nature of the geographical layout of the cemetery, where exactly the cemetery is located. Cemetery means Smashan Bhumi, or that is usually used by Christian people. It is also called as graveyard, okay? And direction of any water drainage and all, that care has to be taken in order to carry out exhumation. For example, see, if the grave is waterlogged, samples of water should be collected, because that will also provide you for the evidence. There are a lot of other things which are to be done during exhumation that we'll see one by one. Identification and opening the grave. How to identify and open the grave. The identified grave should then be dug carefully to avoid damage to the coffin. So coffin has to be also taken care of, and its contents, because there is a body inside it. Notes should be made about the condition of the soil, water content, and nature of vegetation in and around that grave. Then the grave is dug up carefully to avoid damage to the coffin and its content. In suspected case of mineral poisoning, about 500 gram of sample of earth is in actual contact with the coffin should be collected, and it should be preserved in a dry, clean glass bottle for chemical analysis. Control samples at some distance from the coffin should be taken. So see, lots of things are to be done in case of what you call exhumation as far as the analysis is concerned in order to arrive at the conclusion. Here you can see one what you call exhumed dead body along with the coffin. You can see the coffin, intact coffin. Usually coffins are made up of wood, strong wood usually, and mostly Christian people, they bury the body along with the coffin. So some families, they prefer for us for a what you call much expensive coffins and all that. Some of them prefer even metal coffins, but the body inside it will get decomposed as per the nature, whether he belongs to Christianity or whether he belongs to Islam or some other religion. It doesn't make difference for the body, because bodies changes occur similar in everybody depending upon the circumstances or environmental circumstances. So see the dead body there. It is all highly decomposed and getting mutilated, and what we call but the coffin will avoid mud getting attached to the dead body. This is the benefit of having a coffin. Muslim people, they take a janaza from their to their cemetery, and janaza is brought back, the dead body is wrapped in a cloth and it is buried. So this scene will not find in that community as far as this coffin is concerned. And another scene, when the dead body, when it is taken out of the coffin, it has to be brought for the purpose of examination in a mortuary. See, all these remains of dead body is brought to the mortuary here on a table, dissection table, specially designed for that purpose and for the purpose of carrying out the autopsy. You can see it looks like a human dead body. That's all. Otherwise, everything has altered. Now, what examination is done? If interment has been recent, interment means burial. Okay. In short, this Christian people call it as inter. So I belong to the Roman Catholic community, so we call it as inter. Inter in Latin language, interment in English. If interment has been recent, then post-mortem is what you call carried out in usual manner. That means that body is not highly decomposed. Okay. After the dirt has been removed, dirt means mud, removed from the above and around the corpse, it needs to be photographed. A drawing of the grave and body or skeleton should be made, noting all the details, what you see there. In case of bodies which has been underground for a sufficiently longer time, they undergo putrefaction. Putrefaction means decomposition, kuzni. An attempt should be made to determine the sex of that body, the stature of that body, marks of identification, which we have studied in personal identity, whether there are any tattoo marks, whether there are any scars, all that has to be studied on the body. Further examination is done. If disinfection should not be sprinkled on the body if decomposition is not advanced. A plank or plastic sheet should be made to spread under the body, and the body be gently shifted on the plank or the seat and then removed from the grave. So the care has to be taken to take maximum care to not to disturb the evidence which you are going to recover through exhumation. If the skeletonization is advanced, then it may become necessary to dig out beside and beneath the body and the skeleton, including some soil from beneath and sides. They can be lifted on some plank or a seat and transported to the mortuary. Skeletonization means the process of having remains of skeletons, because putrefaction will lead to eventually have only some skeleton remains there. Now, the soil must be carefully screened for smaller objects, okay, like teeth, the person if it's killed by bullets, or hyoid bone of the person, thyroid cartilage, etc. If necessary, X-ray examination of the body with surroundings should be undertaken before transporting the body and the materials surrounding it. So each jar with soil from top, bottom, front, back, left, and right side of the casket. Casket means coffin. So two jars contain soil from around 25 yards away from the grave. You can see all these 8 jars as far as jar from the top, jar from bottom, jar from front, from back, from left, from right side, and 2 jars of soil from 25 yards away from the grave. So this is about the soil to be collected during exhumation. Hair found on body should be preserved in a dry, clean glass bottle for subsequent identification chemical analysis. Hair. A search should also be made for recent or old injuries, such as if there are any fractures sustained by that person. All the cavities should be examined as many viscera can be obtained and should be preserved for further analysis. In case of suspected mineral poisoning, such as arsenic poisoning, antimony poisoning, hair and nail and long bones should be preserved because poisoning effects can be seen in these parts of the body. Sample has to be then forwarded, duly labeled, sealed to the forensic science laboratory for further analysis. That is, everything is essential in exhumation. In case of suspected poisoning, viscera, if present and identifiable, it should be preserved for chemical analysis. Okay, and if viscera are not distinguishable, masses obtained from the area of these organs should be preserved. If viscera and masses are not present, then hair, nail, teeth, bones, and skin should be preserved. So everything is useful for the purpose of examination. Depends upon what you get after exhumation. What is the time limit for exhumation? So in India, along with, because we had a British rule in India, so England, there is no time limit fixed for disinterment of body. Okay, in India, anytime you can go and exhume the body. Disinterment means exhumation. In France, the period is limited to 10 years. So within 10 years, you have to see after burying the person up to the 10 years. So after 10 years, what you will get? You will get bones, teeth. That is why. So in Germany, it is 30 years. Up to 30 years, you can exhume the body. So they are quite, as compared to other, it depends upon the laws of the country. So exhumation in India has got no limit. Even after 50 years, 60 years, 100 years also, you can order for exhumation and recover the body for the purpose of medical legal procedure. Now exhumed bones. So after the period of disinterment, if it is more, after 5 years, after 10 years, after 15 years, you will get bones, skeleton. So if only bones are recovered in exhumation, as in very old graves, okay, the bones must be boiled before examination, because boiled means required for the process. Maceration by this process may reveal diagnosis not available otherwise by ordinary examination. So ordinary examination will not give you the result, and this process will give you the result. Maceration by this process is recommended not only in medical legal autopsies but also in historical material. So like, recovery of mummies and all that, that we'll come to that part in medical legal aspects of death. And so everything is significant in exhumation. Whatever you get through by digging out that dead body from a grave, it is all useful. Here you can see one picture of a mass grave. You can see more than 1-2 people here, and they are buried together at one place, and even now they have a skeletons of all those people. And this is one part, one picture of exhumation. Here you can see a grave has been dug out, what you call disinterment has been done, and we can see the full skeleton of a human being. Now this can give you, at least can give you the determination of sex, age, and what you call DNA, because bones are available. Here you can see a couple of two people you can see they are buried together in a grave, and the grave has been disinterred. The person is trying to study that grave of two person. Usually what happens in case of genocide, people are buried together. Like, you know, in during Second World War, in Germany and all around those 10 countries, what the dictator Hitler had done with the Jewish people and some other communities. So lots of people were killed and they were buried all together in one place. Even most of the dictators and religious maniac people, fanatic people do such kind of acts. And after some time, some good people come to that country to cover, and they try to, examine the same thing. This is what happens, and that is why exhumation take place in most of such cases. Here I'm showing you one picture of a graveyard from Romania. You know the Romania country, it is a Eastern European country. Country was once upon a ruled by one dictator, Ceausescu, and lots of stories we have heard about Ceausescu. I got this picture on internet, and Ceausescu's body was exhumed for the purpose of identification of DNA. So the historical the exhumation cases you will get lot on the internet. You can go through all those. I just brought one picture for you to show you what actually exhumation, the extensibility of the exhumation. So president of Romania, his body was exhumed in Romania country in the eastern part of the Europe. And as I told you in the beginning, that exhumation is done usually, not usually, uh, only in cases of buried dead bodies. Well, now these buried dead bodies will first and foremost you will find in Christian community. So I have brought a picture for you of a cemetery or what you call a graveyard. Usually these graveyards are located, they are located by the side of the church, and these are considered highly holy places by the Christian community. And usually people do not disturb anything there. Below the grave, they above the grave they raise a cross or monumentary what do you call structure. But in case of exhumation, if there is an order, the government can go and dig out that graveyard for the purpose of medical legal purpose, whether you are a Christian or whether you are a Muslim or whether you are any community. The government has got authority to enter into the graveyard, the cemetery, and identify the grave and identify and dig it out under the supervision of the law. So this is one grave which is dug out for the purpose of exhumation, which I found on the internet. And with this, I think that most of the part of the exhibition has been explained to you. And there are everything has to be taken lightly by at least by we people, medical people. So we shouldn't have what you call superstitions in our mind. This is all science. But some fictitious science movies are shown by some people in some countries. The movies on exhumation you'll find movies what do you call some horror movies also you can find. Those are just for the sake of for the entertainment. And we people, at least you and me, we are all medical people. We should respect all the dead bodies as far as those bodies are sanctity of the bodies are concerned, because they were or they are, you can say, human beings once upon a time. And I think with this I have to end today's webinar on exhumation. And there is a beautiful thanks for watching image here in front of you, and it is not at all scary. I hope you liked it. And with this I end my today's webinar on exhumation. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. I request you all to put on your microphones. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And see you again tomorrow.
Yeah.